Today we're not just doing pizza, we're doing sheet pan pizza.
Oh, easy, delicious pizza perfection.
Made even better with grated Parmesan and fresh basil.
Oh, classic toppings with a crust that's crispy on the outside and soft and chewy on the inside.
After one bite, you're gonna say,
I'm no longer gonna use delivery.
is that what you're gonna say? Okay, well, that was something.
I'm not gonna use delivery anymore.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that for 1 minute. But this pizza is so good, and it's fun doing cooking in a sheet pan. So let's talk dough, okay?
Dough, look at that dough.
We went ahead and made our dough, and before I tell you how we did this, it's really easy. You just need a little bit of time, like an hour or so, and I'm gonna punch it down. Oh, that dough feels so good. Okay, so now
that has a nice texture.
It really does. You can.
Oh, hold on, I gotta put my stuff down.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, I thought you'd already done that.
Oh, sorry.
So we need to get our sheet pan nice and lubricated.
Oily.
And this is a 13 by 18 sheet pan.
What was this?
This was extra virgin olive oil, and that was a quarter cup. And so you can do this in a smaller sheet pan. You just need to obviously have these edges, have the edges on the side because this is going to rise and it's going to make that classic pizza.
Okay.
Anyway, but this sheet pan is so great. We use it to make our Texas sheet cake. If you don't have one, they're not expensive, and you'll use it all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a half sheet pan.
It's a half sheet pan.
Yeah.
So that's
all right. I'm working this dough.
Now he's just going to start stretching that out. So let me tell you how I made this dough. It's from scratch, but it's really easy. So we started up, and I'm using my hand mixer, but you can also do this by hand. But in the hand mixer, what you're going to do in the bowl of your mixer, did I say I'm using my stand mixer? Right?
Yes.
In the bowl of my stand mixer, I put a cup and a half of warm water, and you want it to be around 110 to 120 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to add, I'm going with instant yeast. You could use active rise yeast, but I want this to go as quickly as possible. So I did 1 packet, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons. And then to that, we need a little sweetness. I added a tablespoon of honey. Got my little whisk and just whisk that until it was all combined, and then let that yeast do its thing, start to activate. After about 7 to 10 minutes, it should be nice and foamy. If it's not, that means your yeast is no longer active. You need to discard it and get some fresh. Okay, so then I'm going to that. This is so easy. I'm going to add 4 1/2 cups of bread flour, and then I added to that 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and then 2 teaspoons of kosher salt or just regular salt. I put on my dough attachment, and then just on medium, let that start to come together to form a dough, and then we're going to let it mix for about 7 minutes until it's no longer sticking to the sides of the bowl. It's nice and elastic, smooth. We're going to take that out, just kind of shape it into a ball if you can, and then we're going to I have like a little proofing container, but you can do this in just a bowl. You want to spray it with some cooking spray, put that dough in there, kind of roll it around so it gets nice and coated all over with the cooking spray. Cover it. You can either cover it with a lid, with a towel, or plastic wrap, and then you're going to want to stick it somewhere that is warm and non-drafty. If you have a proof setting on your oven like we do, that's cool, but a lot of people don't. Just put it a lot of times when my oven is used, I'll put it up on top of the refrigerator because heat rises, and that's just it's a really, really great place. And you want to do that until it about doubles in size, and that, depending on your yeast, can be anywhere. It can be as quick as an hour. I usually let it go about 90 minutes, and that's looking good.
I almost got it.
He's bound and determined to
get it to the edges.
A lot of times that gluten is just not really wanting to stretch at this point.
Right.
So what do you think?
Oh, we gotta wait.
If you just let it, he's so impatient. If you just let it rest 5 minutes, then it's going to be ready. Like, okay, now I can stretch. So we're going to let this rest 5 minutes. And if it doesn't, even then, if it doesn't go all the way to the corner, it eventually will.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now it's a little more pliable.
See, like I said, even if it doesn't go all the way to the corners, no worries. It's going to be just fine. So now,
look at that.
While he's doing that, I've got a can. This was a can of San Marzano tomatoes. They are so good. They're from like the foot of the Mount Vesuvius in Italy, loaded with flavor, nutrients. Try not to, if you're going to go with San Marzano, they now have the store. You'll see San Marzano style. They're not really from San Marzano. They're not from that location. But anyway,
be certified.
They got to be certified. But anyway, we love them whole. And then what I like to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this before I start crushing them. I'm going to add about 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. This is a teaspoon of dried oregano. We've got some minced garlic here. That's 2 cloves of garlic, and this is optional, but we like just a little pinch of heat. That's a little pinch of red peppers. Now what we're gonna, requires no cooking, no simmering. All you have to do.
I love it.
Is just crush them with your own hands.
Yeah.
There are certain people we all know, that may be you, that's like, oh, I don't like chunky tomatoes in my sauce. So what you can do is you can put it in a blender, you can get an emulsion blender, or if you wanted to, you could buy crushed tomatoes.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
these tomatoes are so loaded with flavor. That
How's
looks
that?
good. That is beautiful. See,
right.
all that took was literally 5 minutes, and it was like, okay, now you can stretch me.
All right, so we've got some plastic wrap here. I'm just gonna give it a light spray, just so that it doesn't stick.
You don't want it to stick. There's
I'm
oil
sure it
there. It
won't.
probably won't, but just to be on the safe side. And so.
And we're gonna let this proof for another half an hour?
Another 30 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
And it's going to continue to kind of rise a little bit. And then we bring together I was going to tell you, the reason I'm wearing an apron is because when you squeeze these tomatoes, they love to squirt all over the place. And usually, almost always, all over your shirt.
They
So when
always
you're
are.
squeezing those, be sure to wear an apron. Okay, we got 30 minutes, and then we bring it together.
Yay!
Okay, let's make pizza.
Let's do it.
Yay.
The best part.
Yes, I know. So, all right, so we take that off, no stickage, which is good. And this is really, it's continued to rise a little bit, which is good, which is what we want.
Yay!
If you wanted to push a little edges a little further into the corner, that's fine. Okay, so now let's talk cheese.
Yes.
So we've got, this is low moisture, whole milk mozzarella cheese. And we're gonna use, it's a lot. This is a pound of shredded cheese. And you really want, it's a couple things we want to say about this, is that I always recommend, if you're going to go with shredded cheese, the bagged kind is perfectly fine if you're throwing together like a quick taco or something, or I don't know, store-bought pizza.
Yeah.
But they add their additives so that it's like it won't cake, and it just doesn't melt quite as nicely. So get a block and just use, it's easy. You either use your food processor attachment or a box grater, and it's amazing how quickly it can be done.
And I'm getting this cheese all the way to the edge, so it's almost, it is touching the pan.
Yeah.
Because you want that little crusty, cheesy edge.
It makes it's kind of it gets really crispy on the edge.
Yes.
It's a little reminiscent if you've of Detroit style pizza.
Yeah.
You need to check out that recipe because that thing is to die for.
I think
this is reminiscent of that.
Yes. And did you just use half of this?
Yeah, we're going to use half of that. So you're going to use about 8 ounces of that. And then now what we're going to do, this is where you're not going to use all of this sauce. Because if you load it up with too much sauce, it's going to weight down that crust, and you don't want to do that.
Yes.
So I'm just going to put little blobs of it. You're going to use probably, I'd say about 2 cups of this. This is probably in here about 3.5 cups. So what's great is it's going to leave some left over, and then it makes the best dipping sauce.
Yes, especially for this lovely bready crust.
I know, you just plunge it in, and it's just so good. So all right, so now if you want to come in behind me and start adding the rest of the cheese.
Yes, we will.
Oh, this is so good. Like I said, we like to leave the tomatoes a little on the chunky side, but if you don't like that, just puree it, and it's going to be super delicious.
Or use crushed tomatoes.
But it smells so good. I can smell that garlic. I can smell the oregano.
We were talking about the Detroit style pizza. I think that is almost one of my favorite types of pizzas.
I know.
Just because of the crust. And, the Longwell family, growing up, they always had thin crust. And I'm like, what? You need to fill up. You can't fill up a thin crust.
I know. There was not enough girth in it for the Loon in Wesley.
No. Oops, sorry.
It is. I am telling you though, that Detroit style pizza is. We didn't get on the back.
I think I even like it more than the Chicago deep dish.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I know.
That is a tough one. We have recipes for all of those, but then we also have great like the New York style pizza, which is fabulous.
Oh, I didn't realize you were going with a pattern.
I'm not going with the pattern. I'm just, it's my OCD, I guess. I'm being very organized.
So this is pepperoni with a natural casing, and I love it because it gets like
The
turns into
little cups. It gets in the crispy edges. So now, look for it. So Boar's Head has a spectacular, delicious. It's so good, and you can find it like in the deli section of most supermarkets, and it's natural casing. I think Boar's Head calls their traditional, and then it comes like this. It's like 6.5 ounces, and you just get a sharp knife and just cut them into little slices like that, not too thick and not too thin. And
hold on, I'm just going along the edges with my extra
okay.
cheese.
So we've got our oven preheated to 450 degrees. You want it nice and piping hot. Okay, that is fabulous.
Yeah.
And we're going to only bake this for about 18 to 20, maybe 22 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want to burn your sausage, but you want it to get really bubbly and to start to get kind of crispy on the outside, and then it's almost pizza time.
Yes.
Smells like a pizza parlor.
It
in here.
does. It smells like Chris and Wesley's house.
That's right. That's right. Okay, look at this baby. Wow, is that a pizza?
That is glorious. Look
Isn't that
at
fantastic?
that.
I mean, that is a party just begging
Oh my stars.
for people to come over and dig in. That's gorgeous. So we let
look
this
at the
go.
oh yes.
Yeah, yeah. You
It's
see,
just
and you
like-
see how the pepperonis are starting. It's okay if they crisp up a little bit on the edges.
And the cheese.
The cheese,
on
you
the
get
edge.
that. You get that little crispiness. It's amazing. So even the
It's
dogs.
okay, Tori.
The dogs are excited. So now we need to. I mean, obviously, if you dug in right now, you'd burn your
Top of your
face
mouth.
off.
Yep.
And it also needs to just sit for just like 5 minutes. That cools off a little bit, and also the crust kind of pulls away from the pan a little bit.
And you want to take it out of the pan,
Yeah,
which
so
we'll do.
We will do in just a matter of minutes. Okay, look at that.
that
Beautiful,
is a
beautiful.
thing of beauty.
So what we did, we just went ahead and did this because we were so excited. We got a couple of spatulas. We did it work together. I just tilted the pan,
Just
scooched it on over.
shift it over,
It's a
yes.
sturdy pie, so
It
you're
is.
going to be good.
And
So
we're going
now-
to bring it back over here.
let's bring it. We're just.
We're roughhousing
Yeah,
this
we
thing.
are. This thing is made for moving.
There you go.
Okay, so now it's all about the toppings. I mean, you got to go. If you're going to do this.
Yes.
So we got some freshly grated Parmesan. Freshly grated is so good. This is so fun to serve at a party, and like you saw this, it's not real difficult. I mean, you give yourself maybe a couple hours, and you're going to be serving pizza to your family and loved ones, and they're going to be so happy.
Yes, they're going to be super happy.
Now, this is fresh basil. I think fresh basil is a wonderful addition. It's kind of like a margarita. Wow. I know. And the
Look at
smell.
that. That is
isn't
so
it
pretty.
beautiful? It's gorgeous. And then just for the fun of it, I'm going to do a little dried oregano because that adds a little flavor.
Put some garlic
We're gonna
on
do a
there,
little-
too.
You could. We're going to do a little garlic salt, but we do a little fresh red pepper. Okay. As you know, Wesley's our official slicer, so he's going to
I'm going to slice it. Look at this little pizza cutter.
want a bigger one?
Oh, no, let's do it. Look at, ooh, you guys.
Nice. It's crispy edges.
I'm dying. I'm dying.
know.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
Oh,
So
crunchy,
So just a
crunchy.
word like, if we wanted to get this a little on the saucy side, that's going to make it a really beautifully tender crust. Crust. If you like a really kind of like almost dry bready, like Sicilian style pizza, just go with a little bit of sauce. And then you're still going to have that incredible flavor. But that
Wow.
crust, isn't that amazing?
I'm dying already.
I know, I
Okay, I know which one I'm taking.
I'm going to
Right here. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that crust. Oh.
Y'all, can you see that crust?
Talk about the upper crust.
That is so exciting.
should I take?
Do this one, Chris.
Okay.
Oh, y'all.
that is beautiful.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, you don't have room to eat.
I know. Well, it's the story of my life. Okay.
There we
so
go.
now you can. These are still pretty darn tootin' hot. So I know this is a sacrilege to eat pizza with a fork. Oh, I'm just gonna. pick it
Yeah.
up.
What
That's
are you
ridiculous.
talking about?
Well, because I always burn the roof of my
that,
laptop.
you guys.
Oh wow.
I'm glad.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my God.
I think we've made pizza every possible way, except for in a sheet pan.
That is so. So, when we lived in New York City for a long while, when we were younger, you get $1 slice, which was great. But if you paid $1.25, I think, you can get a Sicilian slice, which is, this totally reminds me of a Sicilian slice.
It's so much better. It's like, you guys, I can't tell you, I can't believe this was so easy. And did it in the sheet pan. We probably broke every rule of pizza making possible, but it is so good.
I'm dying. That's a trillion billion percent Loon approved.
Wow!
And just a simple basil and
The basil really makes it pop. But to that point, you can do whatever your favorite toppings are. Mushroom, sausage, all veggies, whatever you want.
I love this.
Margarita. All right, you guys. This is a party. You need to have a party. Invite us. We'll come on over.
Yeah.
We love you. Make pizza.
Do it.